Hi there, I'm Brian Whitmore, Director of the Russia program here at CEPA, and this is a vertical video. So what do you do when you're one of the most corrupt countries in the world and you just became even more corrupt? Well, if you're Vladimir Putin's Russia, you legalize bribery. And no, I'm not joking. Transparency International released its annual corruption index this week, and Russia, which is already one of the most corrupt countries on earth, dropped 3 places. Russia now ranks 138th out of 180 countries surveyed in terms of clean governance. That makes Russia the 42nd most corrupt country in the world, on par with Papua New Guinea and Lebanon, and more corrupt than Sierra Leone or the Dominican Republic. Transparency called the drop, quote, an unsurprising decline, given weak political and civil rights, as well as an ineffective system of checks and balances. Now, for the Putin regime, of course, this ain't a bug, it's a feature. Russia's Justice Ministry, meanwhile, has introduced legislation that would stop punishing officials implicated in bribery or other acts of corruption under, quote, exceptional circumstances. The legislation, of course, doesn't define what constitutes an exceptional circumstance, but a pretty good guess would be political loyalty to Putin, because this is the only exceptional circumstance that matters. And because that's how corruption works in Russia. If you're pliant and useful, then you have a license to steal. But if your loyalty is suspect, you're not that useful to the regime anymore, or if you wind up on the wrong side of a clan battle, then you'd better watch your back. Now, why this should matter to us is that for Putin, corruption isn't just a vital tool of statecraft at home, it's also a guided weapon abroad. It's deployed in the former Soviet space, in Europe, and in North America as a tool to establish networks of influence. By ensnaring foreign officials in the shady energy deals, murky money laundering schemes, shell company games, and offshore shenanigans that ooze from the Kremlin, Putin has turned the basest human instinct, greed, into a guided weapon. So the Putin regime may be about to legalize corruption for its own, but in the West, we need to treat it as nothing short of espionage. Keep telling us what you think on Twitter and on Facebook. I'm Brian Whitmore, and this was a vertical video.